Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for joining this session. The permission just went on live on our YouTube channel. So today we are going to discuss chapter 10 of Madhya Leela Caitanya Charitamrta, which is Lord's return to Jagannath Puri. Permission, I would like to share the screen. Hope our screen is visible to all. Can someone confirm this?
Yes, Prabhu, it is visible.
So we have started the return journey of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has completed his South India tour, and we also discussed the purpose of Lord's visit or Lord's yatra to South India during various discussions in the previous weeks. And now finally Lord has accomplished his motive and he is coming back to Jagannath Puri. So this session we are going to cover approximately 100 plus verses. So we are not going to do a detailed verse by verse, but we'll see the flow of the journey, return journey, and what Lord has, various activities, what Lord has done. More importantly, we are going to focus on what are the lessons we learn from this chapter. So we have very crucial, very critical lessons meant for sadhakas like us, which we are going to understand from today's session. I request all the devotees to be very attentive. So this session or this particular topic we are discussing divided into 5 parts. The discussions between King Prataprudra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya covers from verse 1 to 23. More or less we covered this, but I'll just take a short overview from this section also. Then devotees meeting Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kashi Mishra's house. This covers another 24-25 verses. Then Bhavananda meeting the Lord along with his 4 sons. Bhavananda is Ramananda Ray's father, whom Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicated that he is a Pandu himself. Then Lord rejecting Kalakrishna Dasa and Kalakrishna Dasa's visit to Bengal. This covers from verse 62 to 90. And finally, Paramananda Puri's arrival to Jagannath Puri covers last 10-11 verses. So this, the whole sessions of today's will be completed. So we have discussed last a few weeks about how King Prataprudra has invited his spiritual master Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to his palace and discussed with him, requested for to arrange a meeting with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we have seen various intricacies of Lord's King Prataparudra's request and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's. The discussion between basically King Prataparudra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, we discussed a lot of intricacies in them. This section particularly is very important for sadhakas. The discussion between Prataparudra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is very, very important for sadhakas because it highlights the importance of following the instructions and serving submissively the spiritual master. Even when the Lord is not ready to meet King Prataparudra, how he is not left his determination. He kept on requesting his spiritual master and following his instructions very carefully. So, in this whole process, we see King Prataparudra has been experiencing separation from the Lord. This particular episode gives a first lesson for us that though separation creates a pain, same separation from Krishna purifies the heart and increases our devotion. This is generally what we experience in this material world. When we feel separation from someone who is very dear to us, or something which is very dear to us, is some wealth or something we have, we lose the wealth, or we are hankering for something which we are not getting, or we are losing any of our relatives and friends. So that separation gives a lot of pain because of the so-called attachment we have with that object or the person. So what we understand from this section of discussions between King Prataparudra and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, which we are going to very briefly do overview also. The first lesson we have is the same separation in this material world when we transfer to Krishna and his devotees. Though it gives a lot of pain, but this pain is very sweet. It purifies the heart, a devotee's heart. And it actually increases our devotion. So this is what Sri Prabhupada always mentions, that when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, what should be our mood? Our mood is not to just complete this 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra beads. But when we are chanting, we should actually feel that separation from the Lord. When that mood comes to us, when we chant with the mood of separation from Krishna, that increases, that actually purifies our heart. Here we understand separation is so sweet. So this mood of Vipralambha Bhava was experienced and exhibited by gopis of Vrindavan, which we are going to study systematically in a couple of weeks from now in Caritamrta. We are going to start from 1st March by the mercy of Grace Nicholas. So this feeling of separation from Krishna is very, very important for sadhakas. As long as we are not feeling some separation from Krishna, we cannot advance in our spiritual life. We have to cut the knots of attachment and feeling of separation in this material world from the material objects and sense objects, and dovetail this separation to Krishna. Then it is very easy and possible for us to advance in spiritual life very fast. So the meeting started between Sarvabhaumacharya and Prataprudra. And King Prataprudra started inquiring from, very briefly we'll cover the overview and then we'll go into the next topics. So he asks his spiritual master very submissively, सुनीला तुम्हारा घरे एका महाशय गौड़ा है ते ऐला ते हो हा कृपामय. So he says that, my dear spiritual, my dear Sarvabhaumacharya, I heard that there is one great personality has come to your home, and he has done a great favor to you. And he was staying in your house, and that personality is very, very merciful, and he touched a very important aspect. He says that I also heard that this great personality has shown a great favor to you. So what great favor he was indicating here? He was indicating the Lord's the transformation which Sarvabhaumacharya has undergone when Lord has sat with him 7 days and night and discussed about Srimad Bhagavatam, and that has completely transformed Sarvabhaumacharya. So he was referring to that great favor. So when Sarvabhaumacharya started explaining that yes, what you heard is true, and this great personality is none other than Krishna himself. And unfortunately, because King Prataprudra was requesting an audience, an interview with him, Sarvabhaumacharya said, unfortunately, it is not possible, because two reasons. He says, one, generally he don't see materialistic people, mainly kings. No way that he will never grant any audience. So he says, Virakta sannyasi tenho rahe na nirjane swapne nakar karena tenho raja darshane. He says that it is impossible for me to arrange interview because he will never see the king. Then he says that, okay, but still I should have tried to arrange interview, but unfortunately recently he has traveled to South India. Then that gives a big surprise to King Prataprudra that when Lord is sitting here in Jagannath Puri, Lord Jagannath along with his brother and sister, he is personally sitting here. What is the use? What is the need for him to travel or go to South India for pilgrimage? Then Bhattacharya says that these are these great personalities, pastimes are like this only. So he says that Tirtha Pavitra Karite Kare, Tirtha Brahmana, Sei Chale Nishtaraye Samsarika Jana. These great saints go to holy places not for pilgrimage, not to see the lordships in those places, because Lord is there in all these dhams. So he could have stayed back in Jagannath Puri, but his purpose of visiting South India is not to have darshan of the lordships in different dhams, but to purify those dhams. So that takes us to the next lesson, which we learn from Vaishnavas do the pilgrimage to purify those places and reclaim the fallen conditioned souls. So it is not when we go to different pilgrimage. So our intention is to see the places and hear the glories of that place and enjoy with the devotees. But when we associate with the great personalities, like sometimes Maharajas, they do yatras. So it is not that the Maharajas have not seen these places before, or they are not aware of the importance of these places, but it is for this reason. They do pilgrimage to purify us, purify the places, because the place becomes so contaminated because of so many sinful people visiting the places. So Vaishnavas, the saints, go visit those places and purify and reclaim the fallen conditioned souls like us. So then Sarvapatacharya continues to say that because of their purity, they are constant companions of the Lord, and therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. So this is the purpose of this Vaishnavas coming into this material world. Because material world is so contaminated. We all heard before in Bhagavad Gita also, padam padam yat vipadam. Every step there is a danger. And so much of contamination happening in this material world. Thus, even this pilgrimage, place of dhams, also getting contaminated because of presence of sinful activities in those places. So these Vaishnavas, because of their purity, because this is one of the reasons for their appearance in this material world, Lord sends them to reclaim the conditioned souls. So Sarvapatacharya says that therefore they can purify even the places of pilgrimage. Such is the purity of these people, these saints. So then Lord King Pratapadra asks that you should have asked him to stay back here. Still, you should have requested him to stay back here. Then Sarvapatacharya says that he reveals the truth here, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of God himself and is completely independent. Being a Lord Krishna himself, he is not depending on anyone. Bhattacharya kahe, tenho swayam Ishvara Satantra, Sakshat Sri Krishna tenho nahe Paratantra. He says that he is the Lord Krishna himself. Neither you nor me cannot influence or cannot understand his activities. Still, I would have endeavored very hard to keep him here. But because he is the Supreme Lord himself, and because he is independent, I was not successful. Even none of us were successful to accompany him. Forget about asking him to stay back. Here comes very important sloka, which we discussed in the previous classes also. Raja kahe bhatta tumi vigna shiromani, tumi tanri Krishna kaha tate satyamani. King Pratapadra says, Bhattacharya, you are the most learned and experienced person I know. Therefore, when you address Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Krishna, I accept the truth. So this brings us to the most important lesson for us sadhakas. Whatever a bona fide spiritual master says, disciple must follow. There is no second thought. So if you see very carefully, it's mentioned bona fide spiritual master. So till we accept him as spiritual master, we can question him, we can inquire. But once we accept bona fide spiritual master, him as a bona fide spiritual master and surrender to him, then his instructions are our life and soul. So this is what even Srila Prabhupada when he traveled to West. They don't know who is Krishna. Forget about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada told the Westerners, Americans, that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And they all surrendered. Yes, Prabhupada. Yes, we agree. They don't know anything about Krishna, basically. But here, the spiritual master says, when we wholeheartedly accept, not to doubt upon spiritual master's words, that helps us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Why King Prataparudra got so much of mercy from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? We are going to see in coming sessions how he was completely given a mercy by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only because he was following, submissively serving his spiritual master, his spiritual master, Sarvamata. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu transformed Sarvamata, when he visited Jagannath Puri from Bengal, this is a very important reason. Because unless Sarvamata is transformed, with him, two more great personalities, of course, many more great personalities are coming through him. One is King Prataparudra. We already seen about Ramananda. So these are all because of connections established by Sarvamata. So Lord has decided first, okay, let me transform you, then you bring other souls to me. So this is the role of spiritual master. So this again brings another lesson to us, that the mood of inquiring must be with submissiveness and following the instructions of authority. This is lesson number 4, what we learn from this section. So that takes us to the next sloka. Which is, then Sarvamata says, Punarapi Hyantanra Haila Agamana Ekabara Dekhi Tari Safalanayana. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns, sorry, this is King Prataparudra is asking, he is requesting, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returns back to Puri, I wish to see him just once. For what? Not to ask any benedictions. This is a point when we go to the Lord, we go with a big list of our demands, benedictions. So here is King Prataparudra. Says, I wish to see him once in order to make my eyes perfect. So this is how we must engage all our senses in the service of the Lord. So that brings 5th lesson to us, no independent behavior and whimsical behavior. So as a jiva, we are all having a free will. But in our spiritual life, if we want to advance in our spiritual life, we should give up our independent behavior and also whimsical behavior, not as per our will and wish, and not by following the Shastras. These two we should give up. So the best solution is follow the instructions of acharyas and senior devotees. Then there is no question of failure in our spiritual life. So like King Pratapudra has gave up. He is a king himself. He could have ordered Sarvabhattacharya, no, you must arrange. This is my instruction, this is my order. But he didn't. He exhibited the quality of a perfect Vaishnava, that I must be very submissive. If we want to achieve the lotus feet of the Lord, the only way is to submissively inquire and serve the spiritual master, giving up our own independent and whimsical behaviors. So then it comes, Sarvabhattacharya says that, okay, we'll try that. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu is he's currently in South India tour. He's coming very soon. I need one help from you. I need to arrange a place, a nice place for him to stay. It should be solitary and peaceful, and also very close to the temple. So when Sarvabhattacharya requested, so immediately King Pratapudra has reciprocated. He said, Raja ka he aiche kashi mishrena bhavana Thakur era nikata haya parama nirjana. So he says that there is a place which is very, very close to the temple, is Kashi Mishra's house, and that is perfectly suits Lord Chaitanya. So that gives us lesson number 6, Ahaituki Apratihata. So when Sarvabhattacharya requesting him for a place, he didn't link to the demand or to the request of King Pratapudra that I want to see the Lord. He said, he didn't say that, okay, if you want to see the Lord, one condition, arrange a place. No, he didn't say that. These two are independent. He said, okay, let me try. Meanwhile, Lord is coming back. He need a place. Why don't you arrange a place? So King Pratapudra has not linked his request or demand to the request of Sarvabhattacharya. King has arranged the place for the Lord without any precondition or expectations. So this must be the mood of sadhakas. Ahaituki pratihata. When we perform our devotional service, it must be without any tinge of expectation in return. Then the result is what we'll see in case of King Pratapudra. He was kind of undergone a lot of pain from separation from the Lord. Lord, in spite of so many requests from all the devotees, even Lord Nityananda Prabhu went and requested. He said, no, I will not see him. But finally, how Lord Chaitanya Prabhu was known as Prataparudra Santrata, the deliverer of King Prataparudra. That name, he was carrying Prataparudra's name with him. This is one of the name for Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. Prataparudra Santrata, the deliverer of King Prataparudra. That is because of the mood of service. So this must be our mentality, mood when we serve or when we engage in devotional service. So the king has instructed to give this place of Kashi Mishra's house to the Lord's usage once he's come back from his South India tour. Then when Sarvabhattacharya went to Kashi Mishra and told him that king wanted like this, he was very happy. I was very fortunate that Lord Chaitanya Prabhu is going to stay in my house. My God, what a fortune I have. So all the residents of Jagannath Puri were very anxious to meet Lord Chaitanya Prabhu and waiting for their return. So the time has come. We've seen in the previous classes, also in the last chapter, how Lord Chaitanya Prabhu has completed his tour, South India tour, and now he's returning back to Jagannath Puri. So in verse 25, it is told that when all the residents of Jagannath Puri became extremely anxious to meet Lord Chaitanya, Lord again, he returned from South India. So then Sarvabhattacharya has taken King to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu to the place of Kashi Mishra, and then he told all the residents that next day Lord is coming, you please come and meet him, take his darshan in Kashi Mishra's house. So Lord Chaitanya Prabhu comes back. He was so happy to meet Sri Sarvabhattacharya, embraced him, and then both of them went to take darshan of Lord Jagannath, where they got remnants of Lord Jagannath from the pujaris, and then Sarvabhattacharya takes him to house of Kashi Mishra. So there, all the residents of Jagannath Puri were waiting to meet Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Kashi Mishra Asi Pandila Prabhura Charane Griha Sahita Atma Tantre Kaila Nivedane. When Chaitanya Prabhu arrived at his house, Kashi Mishra immediately fell down at his lotus feet and surrendered himself and all his possessions. So Kashi Mishra was so happy that he fell on his feet and completely surrendered to him. This is that moment. Lord Chaitanya Prabhu was so happy and he exhibited his four-handed form to Kashi Mishra. So we see very rarely Chaitanya Prabhu exhibits either four-handed form or six-handed form. Very rarely, very few devotees, very chosen devotees he exhibit. This actually Acharyas have told that the different forms of the Lord has a significance. When we say four-handed form, definitely it has a significance. Six-handed form has a different significance. Depending on the devotee whom he is giving the mercy, whom he is giving mercy, he will reciprocate with that particular kind of form. When he gives darshan in the four-handed form, to several devotees he has given, chosen selected devotees. We all know Lord in four-handed form has conch, disc, lotus, and club. So this particular form has very significance. When we say the disc, the chakra of the Lord, it symbolizes the activity when Lord Vishnu kills the demons. For devotees, it has got a different meaning. It indicates that it slays the misconceptions and doubts in our mind about the activities of the Lord. So this chakra for devotees is to kill the misconceptions and doubts. And similarly, Gadha, club, which is he creates a kind of a he removes the fear, because Gadha club indicates us it symbolizes the strength. So we feel completely protected by the Lord. So this is what Gadha, the mace indicates. Similarly, the lotus flower, Shankha, Chakra, Gadha, Padma, the lotus flower, it symbolizes the liberation from this material world. So Lord is assuring that I will take him back to God. I'll give you liberation from this miseries of this material world. So, and finally, Shankha, which is conch, which indicates the creativity and victory. So he gives assurance to his devotees that when you completely surrender to me and my devotees, your victory is guaranteed. So Lord shows this form to Kashi Mishra, and then he says in verse 36, he says that Saurabhattacharya says, he is introducing that my Lord, this place has been arranged by King Pratapudra for you, and this is just befitting you. Please accept, and this is a hope and wish of Kashi Mishra also. Then Lord reciprocates. Very important point we as sadhakas for us to understand. प्रभु काहे एई देहा तुम्हारा सभा कर यही तुम्ही काहे सेही sammata amara. Says that my body belongs to all of you. Therefore, I agree to whatever you say. So here we have very important lesson. Now we move to this next section. Lesson 7, Lord accepts the recommendation of his pure devotee. Ramananda requesting the Lord to stay in Kashi Mishra's place. Lord is independent, he can do anything, and everybody requested Lord Chaitanya Prabhu to stay back in Jagannath Puri, but Lord said, no, I want to go. And they all requested him that somebody will accompany him. He said, no, I don't want anybody. He's independent. But here, somebody is recommending for someone else to serve the Lord. He want to use King Pratapudra and Kashi Mishra in the service of the Lord. So Lord accepts the recommendation. So we cannot approach the Lord directly. This is very important, where the association of devotees plays a very important role, and following the instructions of a spiritual master and senior devotees also plays very important role. They recommend us to the Lord. When they recommend, Lord will not or cannot say no. This is what eventually happened in case of King Pratapadra also, that Lord shows his mercy. Another lesson we have from this is, it is the duty of a devotee to remain submissive to other devotees and always hanker to fulfill their desires. So, as King Pratapadra was submissive to Saurabhattacharya, and Kashi Mishra was ready to accept the instructions of King Pratapadra and Saurabhattacharya, engaged all his riches, which we are going to see in next coming slokas, in the service of the Lord. So, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu has accepted and to stay in Kashi Mishra's house. Then Saurabhattacharya started introducing all the inhabitants of Purushottama to Jagannath Puri, to introduce so many devotees, residents of Jagannath Puri. See here, the beauty is, the house was provided by King Pratapadra. Based on his instruction, this house was. So all the other residents are present there, except King Pratapadra, because Lord, he don't want to see him, don't want to meet him. But he was waiting with a lot of patience, and all others are enjoying the benefit of the place given by King Prataparudra and the presence of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu in that place. Everyone is enjoying the benefits, reaping the benefits. But this person, King Prataparudra, who did everything for the Lord, is patiently waiting. So Saurabhattacharya is introducing all the residents. He introduced Janardhana, and he introduced Krishna Dasa, Sikhi Mahiti, and Pradyumna Mishra. There's so many residents, so many devotees he introduced to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu has given his blessings to all of them. Then, when he, after introducing everybody, he made one very important statement to Saurabhattacharya. He says that Ei Sabha Vaishnava Ei Kshetrera Bhushana Ekanta Bhave Chinte Sabe Tomara Charana. All these pure devotees serve as ornaments to Jagannath Puri. They are always undeviatingly meditating upon your lotus feet. So that brings another lesson to us, that in spite of whatever positions we get while doing our devotional service, we must always be surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord. So these great personalities whom Saurabhattacharya has introduced to Chaitanya Prabhu, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, they are all great personalities. They are doing wonderful services in Jagannath Puri. He compared them as the jewels of ornaments to Jagannath Puri. Ei Kshetra Bhushana. Ei Sabha Vaishnava, Ei Kshetra Bhushana. Kshetrera Bhushana. So they are ornaments to this dham. They are doing wonderful service, my Lord. But still, they are completely surrendered to your lotus feet. So this must be the mood of a devotee who want to advance in Krishna consciousness. During our journey of Krishna consciousness, we may get so many side benefits. We may become sector leader, you become Chakrapati, Mahachakrapati, Malapati, and Yatrapati, and what not. We may become GBC, but we must understand that these are meant to serve the Lord, not to show our power, not to enjoy our power. That should be the mood of a devotee. So this is very important lesson for us. So then all the residents of Jagannath Puri, they paid obeisances to the Lord, and Lord has embraced each one of them personally. Then the next section starts, Bhavananda meeting the Lord along with his 4 sons. So Bhavananda is the father of Ramananda Raya. He had 5 children. And when Lord Chaitanya Prabhu meets Bhavananda, and immediately Bhavananda fell on the feet of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. And Sarvabhattacharya introduces him. He introduces what? He says, this gentleman is father of Ramananda Raya. Ramananda Raya is his first son. So Ramananda Raya already met Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, and all his family members are known as connected to Ramananda Raya, because Ramananda Raya is so nice and pure devotee of the Lord. So when we take up Krishna consciousness, we should add value to our family. That means, what I'm trying to say is, our family and relatives and the circle should get benefited, because automatically they get benefited. It's not that they should get benefited. Automatically get benefited. But only thing is, we must be very pure in our intentions to serve the Lord. When that happens, as Ramananda Raya has become very famous, and all his relatives and even father, here we are seeing, are known from the name of Ramananda Raya. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Ramananda Raya, and he spoke to him. In verse 52, Ramananda hene ratna yahara tanaya tanhara mahima loke kahanana yaya. He says that the glories of a person who has jewel of a son like Ramananda Raya cannot be described within this mortal world. So he is glorifying Bhavananda because of Ramananda Raya. Because Ramananda Raya is such a great personality, you are very great, because you have such a wonderful Vaishnava as your son. The glories of a person who has a jewel of a son like Ramananda Raya cannot be described. So you are a great personality, Bhavananda. So then he says, you are Maharaja Pandu himself, and your wife is Kunti Devi herself. So this is a confirmation given by Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. So it says that all your intellectual sons are representatives of 5 Pandavas. So he had 4 sons he brought with him. The first one was Ramananda Raya, who Lord met in Rajamandri. So this time Ramananda Raya still he was in service. After that he leaves the service and comes back in coming weeks. So then Lord Bhavananda completely surrenders to him, and he says that, my Lord, I am a Shudra. Still, you accepted me as your servant. I'm such a, I feel so much of greatness because of you touched my body, even though I'm a Shudra. And this is a proof that, my Lord, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he makes a statement that Bhavanandaraya says that Nijagruha Vitti Bhrutya Panchaputra Sane Atma Samarpilum Ami Tumhara Charane. Along with my home, riches, servants, and 5 sons, I surrender myself to your lotus feet. So he completely surrenders himself, and also he says that all my riches, everything what I have belongs to you. So that brings us to lesson number 10. We must engage all our riches, our wealth, our opulences, our positions, our name, fame, everything what we have, including the family members, in the service of the Lord. We may ask, Prabhuji, my the 20 साल से chanting कर रहा हूँ, doing this devotional practice for last 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, but I'm not finding a taste. Here is the reason. We are doing a, not we all generally, when someone is having that doubt, when we do devotional service as a part-time activity, just devotional service for us is chanting holy name of the Lord. 1 hour, 1.5 hours, finish it and keep it aside, then do our own nonsensical activities. So that is not a devotional service. Here is an example which Bhavananda is exhibiting. He is not just telling by his word of mouth. He is actually, he feels it, and he completely surrenders himself, and he says, all my 4 sons are for you. 1 son is already completely surrendered to you. I am giving you 4 more sons, and all my riches, everything is for you, my Lord. I am surrendering everything at your lotus feet. That brings another lesson to us, that when one engages everything in the service of the Lord, this actually, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport of this verse 55, there is no need to take any sannyasa. Very important statement. When we engage all our opulences, all our riches, all our name, fame, everything what we have, including our family members, in the service of the Lord, that itself is a sannyasa. Sannyasa doesn't mean wearing a saffron robes. Sannyasa actually means completely renouncing our attachment, using everything what we have in the service of the Lord. So that brings this very important lesson to us, that everything must be used in the service of the Lord. Then he, Bhavananda, he offers, says, though everything belongs to you for now, I'm leaving my son Vaninatha at your lotus feet, and he will be with you all the time and serving your lotus feet and following your orders. So then Saurabhata, Bhavananda completely surrenders to him, and Lord Chaitanya Prabhu says that he accepts Bhavananda's request. I accept without hesitation because you are not an outsider. Birth after birth, you have been my servant along with your family members. So Lord reciprocated, and then goes on. He says that Lord Ramananda is coming within next to 5 to 7 days. As soon as he arrives, my all desires will be fulfilled. I'll take great pleasure in his company. So he embraced Bhavanandaraya and then touched the heads of all his children, the 4 sons, with his lotus feet. Then Lord Chaitanya Prabhu kept Vaninatha with him and sent back Bhavananda and other devotees. So Sarvabhattacharya has, now we enter into the next section, very important section. Sarvabhattacharya sends all the people back, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls Sarvabhattacharya and also calls Kalakrishna Dasa. So this is the next section we are entering. Lord rejecting Kalakrishna Dasa and his Kalakrishna Dasa's visit to Bengal. So then he calls Kalakrishna Dasa and tells him that he says, my dear, he tells Sarvabhattacharya, see this man, all of you wanted him to accompany me during my South India tour, but you know what this person has done? My dear Bhattacharya, just consider the character of this man whom you sent with me to South India. He left my company to associate with Bhattataris. So he got attracted to beautiful women and he wanted to leave my company. But I rescued him from the company and brought him here. But Bhattatari kache gela amare chadiya Bhattatari haite inhare anilun dhariya. That brings very important lesson for sadhakas, that Maya can bewilder one even if he is directly in the association of the Lord. So the lesson is one must not take things for granted. To be very, very careful. Not think that, oh, I am so and so, I am Brahmanical, I'm GBC, I am Mahachakrapati. Even one who is in direct service of the Lord is an example which we see in the case of Kalakrishna Dasa in previous sections, that how he fell down. And Lord has saved him. He didn't say anything that time. Now, after return from South India tour, he is exhibiting his anger. So this is a very important lesson for us, that we must be very, very careful. Even when we are in the direct association of the Lord and direct service of the Lord, we are a pujari of a big temple, but still Maya is always sitting here and watching very carefully, giving all kinds of distractions, offering all kinds of distractions to ensure that we are strong in Krishna consciousness. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that now I brought him back safely, since you handed him to me as my servant. Now I brought him back safely. Now I am giving up him. I am asking him to leave. Now he can go wherever he likes. I am no more responsible for him. All along, I was responsible because you, all the devotees, have given him to me, handed him over to me. Actually, he was given as a servant, but Lord was protecting him all along. Now he says, no, I'm giving up. Let him go, let him do whatever he wants. Let him go, Bhattataris or any woman, where he wants to go, let him go. So Kalakrishna started crying heavily. Now, this is a nice message for all of us, that even when the Lord is not ready to accept, our spiritual master and our devotees, they are not giving up. Nityananda, Jagananda, Mukunda Damodara, Chari Jane Yukti Tabe, Haribe Antara. So that gives next lesson to us, that spiritual master and the devotees are very, very merciful, that they won't give up even when one falls down. So even when we fall down in our spiritual life, the devotees, they are not ready to give up. The spiritual master will not give up. He will keep on advising, please chant Hare Krishna mantra. Even if you fall down, no problem. Like my spiritual master told once that even one person who completely fall down, not following my instructions, breaking all the four noble principles, what is supposed to do, Gurudev? When I asked him, he said, let him start again. Simple. That is, there is no need of any other prayaschitta. So this is the mode of spiritual master. So here, all these four wonderful devotees of the Lord, Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda, Mukunda, and Damodara, they all considered a plan to save, to protect Krishna Dasa. So they all went to Lord Chaitanya Prabhu and told him that we need a person who can go to Bengal and inform all the devotees there that you have safely come back from your South India tour. So that, and we also need to inform your mother, Sachimata, and all other devotees in Bengal that Chaitanya Prabhu has come back to Jagannath Puri safely, and so that everybody can come and meet you. So, my Lord, you want to send a person there, and when Lord says, do whatever you want, then they sent this Krishna Dasa to Bengal to inform all the devotees who are waiting, including Sachimata, who are waiting in Bengal about the return of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu from South India tour. Ei Krishna Dasa Deepe Gaudiya Pathana Eta Kahi Tare Ratilena Ashwasiya. So let us therefore send Krishna Dasa to Bengal. So they all decided, then taken permission from Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, and then they sent him to Gaudiya Desh. So then Lord Chaitanya Prabhu said, okay, do whatever you want. Krishna Dasa went and he met all the devotees there. Devotees are more merciful than the Lord is a wonderful lesson what we get. That's the reason why it's important to have association with the devotees in this material world. Is Lord is merciful, but devotees are more merciful than Lord. Even when Lord is not ready to accept us, devotees say that, my Lord, you must accept this man. This is where role of Srimati Radharani also comes in picture. That's why our mood is more towards Srimati Radharani, serving Srimati Radharani. Because she will recommend Hare Krishna. When we say Hare Krishna, we are addressing Srimati Radharani. Please help me to reach. Not Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna. So that comes first. We are addressing the internal potency of the Lord. We are addressing the devotees of the Lord, because devotees are more merciful than the Lord. So, in verse 74, it is told that Krishna Dasa was sent to Bengal and he was given sufficient quantities of Lord Jagannatha's food remnants to distribute there. So, the lesson what we get in this sloka is one cannot escape from the clutches of Maya without engaging in the service of devotees. So, Krishna Dasa was under clutches of Maya. He was completely distracted. And definitely it is a position of many of us. We definitely, or rather me, definitely in the clutches of Maya. But devotees who engage us in the service of the Lord will make us to get escape from the clutches. Unless we engage in the service of the devotees, Maya always bewilders us. So it holds us in the clutches of its past. So that is a lesson what we have. And going forward now, Kalkishadasa went to Bengal, and he met Mother Sachidevi, and he met all the devotees there. He informed them that Lord has come back safely, and he narrated all the pastimes, whatever he has seen, heard, distributed Mahaprasadam everywhere. And then it comes to next section, Paramananda Puri's arrival to Jagannath Puri. This is the last section. Just will take another 5-10 minutes, and then we'll close today's discussion so that this section is complete. Now, who is Paramananda Puri? Paramananda Puri is an eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Krishna Leela, he serves as Uddhava. As Uddhava is elder and respected associate, Paramananda Puri is also elderly devotee and also respected by Mahaprabhu. Why? Because Paramananda Puri was initiated by Madhavendra Puri. Who is Madhavendra Puri? He is the spiritual master of Ishwara Puri, and Ishwara Puri is the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya. So he considers him as a very advanced and respected devotees. So Mahaprabhu always, whenever he sees Paramananda Puri, he offers garlands, and he gives a lot of respect to him. So Paramananda Puri, whenever he meets Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, Lord Chaitanya Prabhu used to tell, generally when someone meets Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, they will say that, oh my Lord, my life has become very successful, I am very purified by seeing you, by taking your darshan. But here is Lord Chaitanya Prabhu telling other way around, says that, how fortunate I am to meet you, dear Paramananda Puri. Because I saw you, my birth in this world is very fruitful. And now I can say the purpose of taking a sannyasa is very successful. So whenever he sees Paramananda Puri, he rushes and he will embrace him, because he considers him as a very, very intimate associate. And once Lord Chaitanya Prabhu tells, this is in Chaitanya Bhagavata, it is mentioned, that I live in this material world only because I am bound by Paramananda Puri's love. I am his property. Because he tells this to a couple of other devotees also. Very selective, very choosy. If he wants to sell me, he can do it. I am his property. And he says that anyone who sees Paramananda Puri even once, when he sees Paramananda Puri once, he says he is eligible to go back to Godhead, and he gets Krishna Prema. So that is the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the importance which he gives to Paramananda Puri. So Paramananda Puri, he comes, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibits his ecstasy, and he completely, in a lot of ecstasy, he embraces him, and they started discussing about various pastimes of the Lord. When Paramananda Puri, actually, when we heard Ramakrishna Dasa tells in Gaudiya Desh in Bengal about Lord's return, all other devotees, Advaita Acharya and all the devotees were ready to come. But Paramananda Puri could not wait. He came first. He wanted to take darshan of the Lord, and he rushed himself. First he came, followed by all others who came later. So So this is the brief. Let me see if anything else is. All other devotees, Mukunda, Narahari, Raghunandan, and all the devotees came from Khanda to Advaita Acharya's home to accompany him to Jagannath Puri. All the devotees started coming now to Jagannath Puri, and Paramananda Puri comes first. He takes permission of Sachimata, and he rushes to Jagannath Puri along with his very close associate called Dvija Kamalakanta. So Dvija Kamalakanta is again very wonderful personality. He is a very confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu, and he was engaged in the service of Advaita Acharya as his secretary. So when Paramananda Puri comes, he comes along with Kamalakanta. He brings him from Navadvipa to Jagannath Puri. His full name is Kamalakanta Vishwasa. So it's mentioned in the scriptures that Kamalakanta is very, very close, not scriptures actually, in the previous sections of Caritamrta. He's a very, very close associate and close, very dear servant of Advaita Acharya. And Advaita Acharya gave his mercy upon him so that he became very close, confidential servant of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Paramananda Puri arrives at Chaitanya Prabhu's place in Jagannath Puri, Lord was very happy to see him and he embraces him. And Paramananda Puri also embraced Lord in a great ecstasy. He fell on at the Lord's lotus feet. Then Lord requests him, please stay with me and show me favor, accepting the shelter of Jagannath Puri. So he requesting Paramananda Puri. And Paramananda Puri says, I also wish to stay with you, my Lord. Therefore, I have come from Bengal to Jagannath Puri to be with you all the time. And he also gives message that all other devotees of Navadvipa, including Mother Sachi and other devotees, are very, very happy to hear about your return from South India. And all the other devotees are all coming very soon to take your darshan. And because their visit is getting delayed, I could not tolerate myself, so I came alone very quickly, my Lord. So with the last sloka 101 mentions that there is a solitary room at Kashi Mishra's house, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave it to Paramananda Puri. He also gave him a servant to serve him. So this ends this section of Lord's return to Jagannath Puri. We covered verse 1 to 101. Please forgive me, I have taken little time extra because I want to complete this flow so that we can cover the next two sessions, this chapter, very beautiful chapter, and with a proper mood, we start discussing Brihad Bhagavatamrita from 1st March. So thanks to His Grace Nitya Singh Prabhu for kindly allowing me to do this service. It has been a request from so many devotees to do this Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So it is apt, right time. I felt that once Lord comes back to Jagannath Puri, then whatever we heard during Lord's South India tour, the realization of what we have, and with that mood, we prepare ourselves to hear the importance of devotees, importance of Holidam, importance of association with the pure devotees in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita starting from 1st March for next 5 to 6 weeks from there. So thank you very much for patiently tolerating me in this session. If you have any questions, comments, so we can cover a few minutes and then we can end the session. Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, you explained very beautifully. Everything is very nice to hear. Um, as an ignorant fool, I would be like asking you something. As we hear so many examples of purest of pure devotees, we are reading, trying to understand Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhuji, for information, knowledge, bliss, ecstasy, and everything. Like examples of Goswamis, Acharyas, also we keep hearing. Like some 500 years ago, so many miracles we hear happened in Dham, like Vrindavan, Mayapur, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. But Prabhuji, nowadays we don't hear so much about the miracles happening. Will the pages of devotional spiritual history be all vacant in the era we are living in? Because all this makes me uncomfortable sometimes. As I said, I'm an ignorant fool, and if you can please put some light on it for me to understand everything.
Uh,
Ji.
Mataji, your voice was breaking towards the end. You can repeat the last statement.
Yes, Prabhuji, you couldn't hear anything?
No, last one sentence I could not hear.
Ji, Prabhuji, nowadays we don't hear so much about the miracles happening around the world. So will the pages of devotional spiritual history be all vacant for the era we are living in, and for the generations to come ahead after Srila Prabhupada and after Guru Maharaj? What is there in store for us to, uh, so I just want you to put some light on it, as you're very knowledgeable and a very, very mature devotee, exalted devotee, Prabhuji. If you can just, it is just a curiosity, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mataji. Actually, Mataji, one need to understand is what are the purpose of Lord's appearance in this material world and doing all these miracles. So when you say miracles, I presume you are talking about Lord appearing and performing various leelas. So if we are talking about that, if you are saying like Lord appeared in Vrindavan and did all these miracles, leelas, transcendental pastimes those days, and the question is why it's not happening now. We must understand the purpose of Lord's appearance and performing these leelas. It is not that the Lord is coming here to kill the demons, which he can do even wherever he's sitting from. He is performing these leelas because he wants to leave a trace for us, track for us, that Lord has come, he has performed these pastimes. Now we keep meditating on those pastimes so that we can get purified and go back to contact. So it's not important that Lord has to come every day or every year or once in every 500 years. So Lord has created, or I can say much bigger miracle is happening today, is transformation of our anarthas, purification of our anarthas by chanting the holy name of the Lord. So Lord has come, he has given this. And if you see, the biggest miracle happening throughout the world is people are getting ecstasy, chanting the holy name of the Lord and getting transformed. So Lord is there in the form of a holy name, and he is performing this miracle of transforming us and making us to escape from the clutches of this Maya, so that we can go back to Godhead. So when you say miracle again, I don't see it is necessary for the Lord that every time he appears and does this miracle. So he has come, he has done his leelas, he left these leelas for us to meditate, and because of our constant meditation of these leelas, I say the biggest miracle is ever which happened in the before is happening now. So miracle, it is happening. somebody asked Prabhupada, can you do some magic miracles? I said, I transform all these hippies into happies. So this is the biggest miracle. They all shaved their heads and they're wearing saffron robes. This is the biggest miracle. So the biggest miracle is happening nowadays, you can say, which will continue to happen for many generations to come, is transformation by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And it is not that Lord every time has to come. So again, he has sent his associates, and his associates are giving that responsibility to us. So we should carry on this miracle to continue to happen. It is not that, okay, somebody has come, Lord has come, he did and he went. Then Guru Maharaj came, Prabhupada came and they did miracles. Prabhupada went and went back. So now what? Now what? It is for us. It is our responsibility. If we cannot sit back and enjoy the fruits given by our acharyas and the Lord, so it is our responsibility. Even Lord Chaitanya Prabhu says, everyone has to pluck this fruit of the devotional tree and distribute to everyone. So the miracle should go on, will continue as long as we engage in the preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya Prabhu. I hope this answers your question, Mataji, or if I am not touching your
Yeah,
question.
yes. Beautiful, Prabhuji. Even if like they are not there as as a Vapu body, but it is all there and it exists because so many people are joining and so many people are
Yeah.
becoming Krishna consciousness. I've understood, Prabhuji. Very beautifully you explained it to me.
Thank you,
That's very
Mataji.
nice. And Prabhuji, one more thing is there. Prabhuji, we hear about Vishnu Priya Devi uh, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's second wife. So, Prabhuji, we learn austerity, chastity, dedication, and all. But a devotee told me that in God, but I don't remember which book it is. Ganesha Deepika something, I don't remember. I don't know about that book. I don't have that book. So she told me that it is mentioned that she is a goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. But I have read somewhere that she's an incarnation of Satyabhama. So I'm confused about it. Maybe if you can just it's a doubt, Prabhuji. I'm not clear about it.
I'll check, Mataji. I think is what I referring to Gaur Ganod, the Deepika, the book.
Ji.
Sir. So actually, many places it mentioned that even, for example, Ramananda, he is incarnation of Arjuna, is incarnation of Vishaka. So it is a combination like Advaita Acharya. So likewise, it's a combination of different personalities when they incarnate. So their amshas come together. And Satyabhama is again none other than same internal potency of the Lord. So what actually it means is that Lord's internal potency is coming in that particular form. So maybe it's combination of 2 or 3 personalities. It is possible, but I have to check that. I have that book with me. I'll refer to the book and I'll confirm in the book. So is a combination of which personalities.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, for devotees, if you have any other questions, comments, then we'll end the session. Already it is, we are half an hour late. We'll continue from verse 102 onwards, and it will be much faster section because now today we had a recap of first 23 slokas, which already completed also. So next 2 sessions will be 45 minutes each. We can complete. Then we'll from 1st March onwards, and request everybody to bring more souls to our upcoming Bhagavatamrta seminar, which is going to happen start from 1st March. So please circulate the invitation, which is already in the group, and try to encourage them to attend Bhagavatamrta for 1st March. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much once again.